Hey guys, it's Jacqueline and welcome back to another speed build in The Sims 4. Today's video is a tiny house on a hill, and that's literally the entire theme of it. I didn't really put much thought into it, but I was like, I want to build a tiny house and I kind of want to do something on a hill. And also, this was almost a starter home. And basically, I don't know, I've just not been thriving lately really, just in general, and also been having some like wild builder's block. So I was like, you know what I need to do? I think I need to just do a theme. Like, just do a thing, go in with a plan, and like make it a starter house, because starters are easy. Well, starters aren't easy, they're very difficult for me at least, because I tend to clutter stuff up a lot, but I figured that if it was a starter home I wouldn't have to do so much, and so it would seem like less intimidating, if that makes sense. Like, it would just be less daunting of a task, right? So I was like, okay, I'll do a starter home and it'll be funsies and great and stuff, and it'll be really cute. And then what happened is that it became not a starter house, because I can't do starter houses because they're so difficult. Everything in the game is so expensive. Every cute item in the game is so expensive, and I couldn't do it today. I will do it at some point, but I don't think it'll be, I don't know. I mean, it'll probably have to be a tiny house if it's a starter house, but this does qualify as a tiny house, by the way. That's, like I said, that's part of the theme, tiny house on a hill. So this does qualify as a tiny house. It's a tier 2, I believe, so I don't really know what the perks are that come with that, but I think it's still like, a fun little feature of the house. So you live here and you get the fancy tiny house perks, and you're on a tiny house residential instead of a regular residential. So that's very fun. I don't really like build tiny houses that often, like straight up tiny houses. I do like houses that are small a lot, because I do a lot of cottages, but I never really do I never build with the tiny house residential lot type really that often, so I thought this was a fun one to do, and hopefully you guys will like it as well. But anyways, like I said, I did a lot of landscaping on this one. That was kind of like the main feature in my mind, the fact that it's on a hill and like the landscaping is fancy and stuff. And I use like basically entirely debug objects for the landscaping as well, because that was part of it. Like I said, oh sorry, ignore that, we're just going back in so I can use the tool mod, but I had to make a sim, so I probably should have cut that out. But anyways, I used a lot of items from the debug menu so that I could make the landscaping cheap or like virtually free. I don't think I used any objects from the regular catalog, so yeah, the landscaping is basically entirely free. So if you just had this hill and you didn't have the house on it or anything, this would be a free lot, but unfortunately the house was kind of the second feature of the build, so that is what ended up happening there. But I had a lot of fun doing this, and also, like I said when I was explaining why I use that sim, I'm using the tool mod to like move up and down a lot of the objects here, which is a problem I had a lot whenever I tried in the past to do terrain manipulation stuff. Trying to move the objects to like get them to the right level so they blend into the terrain properly is just impossible. So I decided that this time I would give the tool mod a go, because I've used it a few times now for like rotating stuff and that stuff, but elevating is actually much simpler, because rotating you have to like change the axis and whatnot, and some objects just won't rotate for the life of me. I can't get them to, so that's a little frustrating, but that's irrelevant. So anyways, yeah, I just like elevated them to the level that would make them blend into the terrain better using the tool mod. That was very helpful. The tool mod, by the way, if you don't know, is from Twisted Mexi, fabulous mod creator, and yeah, that is basically all I have to say about that. Like I said, I've been having like huge builder's block the past, like, I don't know, couple days to a week or something like that. I don't know why. It's weird, because building like all the time, it's fun until you like run out of ideas, and then you're just like, ugh. And then also, because I've been trying to put out videos like decently consistently, right, like every other day, and so I keep like putting off these big projects that I want to do, like bigger ideas that I have, because I like don't think I can finish them within the span of time that I'll have to like put out videos, and so then I get stressed, and then I like don't make the big videos or like builds that I really want to make, and it's bad. So yeah, I'm trying to work on that, trying to fix it a little bit, and hopefully I will. But in the meantime, I guess you get a lot of tiny houses like this, so that's fun. But I don't know, I almost considered taking a break. I know technically this isn't an every other day upload, this is an every 3 days upload, and like I never made a schedule or anything. I was never like, okay, so I officially upload every other day, because I think that would be very toxic for me. I've never had a schedule for this channel, because I think if I do, it just like it becomes work instead of play, and I am not here for that. So that's where we're at right now with that, I guess. But I've sort of like got it into my head the past month or so that I really need to upload every other day, or else like, I don't know, the world will end or something. The world does not end. The world might end for some things, but not for my not uploading, for like global warming and stuff. Anyways, basically, I'm just trying to like not get so obsessed with it. But I don't know. Also, the algorithm has been like pretty kind to my channel recently, which doesn't happen that often, to be honest with you. So I was kind of like scared to like not upload every other day, because then I mess up the algorithm, and it does not look kindly on like uploads that, like well spaced out uploads. Like, I don't know, for me at least. It's so weird. Like, lifestyle YouTubers and stuff upload like once a week, and somehow they end up with millions of subscribers. Every Sims person I know, like every successful Sims YouTuber, and like, regular Sims YouTubers that are not crazy successful, every single one of them uploads like every other day or every day, or like, at least every 3 days. So I don't really understand like why it's so difficult. I guess it's just because Sims has less of an audience than lifestyle stuff does, or like, a lot of other types of videos do, but it's interesting to me, it really is. So anyways, yeah, basically the point is that I was gonna take a break, like a longer break than 2 days, but then the algorithm said no, or I said no, I don't want to fail the algorithm because it is mean, to be honest with you. So that's what's going on there. Anyways, so back to the build. Like I said, I was using the tool mod a lot, which I used to manipulate the rocks and then also these bushes, because they have a really big footprint to them, so it's like virtually impossible to get them where you want them when you have terrain manipulation going on. Because it's like, when you try to landscape near like a foundation or something and the plants will pop up. So the bushes do that, except they have a footprint of like 5 tiles going out around them. That's like not technically where the bush actually is, and so if you have like even slightly uneven terrain, it'll pop up to like above where you want it to be, which is really frustrating. So I just use the tool mod instead. Thank you, Twisted Mexi, our Lord and Savior. Oh, speaking of that, by the way, this is another thing I want to talk about. If you guys have been on Twitter recently, or at least I was on Twitter and this is where I saw it, is that Twisted Mexi has announced that they're doing a debug categorizing mod. I'm so excited. This is the best day of my life. I'm not even kidding. Although the thing is, one of the comments that I read, so basically, let me just start from the beginning. I guess if you're not familiar with like build mode that much, the debug menu is like this object unlock menu that you like get a bunch of new objects from. You can get live edit objects that they use to build the worlds, and you can get like, debug objects and stuff that come up in gameplay. So basically you access those things through cheats, but the menu is just this huge scrolly mess of like scrolly mess. Sometimes I speak so eloquently, I'm just like, where did they come from? But yeah, it's just this huge mess of like objects, and it's impossible to like sort through or find stuff decently. I have like memorized a bunch of random objects that actually have names to them, so I'll like search them if I know I'm searching for a specific object that's near that object, but like that kind of, that takes some experience, it takes some skill, and it's really something that I would rather not have to do. So the whole sorting out of the debug menu, categorizing of the debug menu, phenomenal idea. However, I believe that it was said that you will have your build like tagged as having custom content in it, or tagged as being modded if you use objects that have been categorized like that. So that's kind of unfortunate, but if you then like save your lot, and then it will be tagged as being modded, but then you turn off mods in your game, then you leave the game, then you come back into the game, then you save the lot again, it will be tagged as not modded and the items will still be there. So that's great. I don't know, I might be too lazy to do that, we'll see how it goes, but yeah, overall, I think that's a really good idea. And also, this is the part that might sell me on it, because like the categorizing, I don't really care that much. Like, I've learned how to scroll through it and stuff, but you can duplicate items, okay? So you can use the shift key, because you know how like if you're doing landscaping or something and you have a bush, like a regular bush, you can like press the shift key, and then every time you put a bush down, a new bush will like spawn. Phenomenal tool, love it the most. But it doesn't apply to debug objects, which is incredibly frustrating, because sometimes I just want to landscape with my debug objects and not have to go to the menu and grab one every time. So that's great. You just use the shift key. I don't know if the eyedropper tool will work, which personally I think the eyedropper tool would be like more helpful than the shift key, because the shift key is good for like just placing a bunch of objects at once, but the eyedropper tool is where it really gets helpful, because then you don't have to like scroll through the menu every time you want to find something to put it down in a different spot. But anyways, that is exciting. I'm very excited, 10 out of 10, and I think it's probably still on their Patreon, or, it probably hasn't even been, like, put out yet. I'm not really sure, so I shouldn't act like I like know everything about this, but I'm just saying, cool tool. And yeah, I don't know, I just really appreciate mods sometimes. I think the modding community, like, they listen and they know, you know? The sim gurus try their hardest, they try their darndest, but like the modding community really is out here doing the most sometimes, so I appreciate it a lot. And anyways, by the way, this is really random, but I'm sorry if you have been watching my videos recently and you notice that there's some like audio issues, some like mic cuts out or goes weird and like, you know? If that happens, I'm sorry. It'll probably happen in this video too. I have literally no clue why it's happening, and I've tried fixing it in several different ways. So, basically, the first time it happened was on a video where I had recorded the voiceover on my editor. By the way, the reason that this is happening, I'm presuming, is because of the new editor, and not my microphone, because my microphone has worked fine, like, ever since I've had it, but the new editor, since I'm on a new computer now, so basically, the audio will just glitch out, and like there's no visual signs on the screen while I'm recording that there's any problem with it, so it's really like, I don't really know when it happens, so the only way that I would be able to detect it is like if I go back through my entire recording and then listen for problems, but the thing that if I do that, well, first of all, I would just never post voiceovers because I hate listening to my voiceovers, I hate listening to my voice, and like it's just a disaster, so I won't be doing that. But the other thing is that if I were to do that, like, I don't really know what the actual solution would be. Like, am I just supposed to cut out the part where there's an issue and then, like, go back and record exactly what I said over it in the same tone and stuff? Like, I don't know. I don't see many solutions at the moment because I don't really know what's causing the problem. So like I said, the first time that it happened, I was just recording my voiceover in my editor, and then recently I tried to fix it because I knew that it had happened in my grandparents' apartment speed build, I think. So then I tried to fix it by recording the voiceover in OBS instead, which is my like broadcasting recording software or whatever. So I tried to fix it by recording my voiceover in that, but then there was still like audio issue, so I don't really know what's happening or like how to fix it. Unfortunately, I'm a little exasperated by that, but I'm really sorry if you hear it and you're like, oh my god, the video is ruined. My disappointment is immeasurable and my day is ruined. Sorry, I really live to reference memes these days. It's the only thing I get joy out of. So I don't really know what the problem is the point that I'm making here, and yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna keep looking for solutions, but in the meantime, I can't really like afford to just cease to make videos while I'm trying to figure that out, so I'm sorry, I apologize. I think at some point I might just end up recording voiceovers without my video running, because if I just don't have the editor open and I just like set a timer for the amount of time I know I have to talk, and then I just talk while staring at the blank OBS screen, that could be funsies. I don't know, that could be interesting. Thoughts, comments, concerns, it's not like I really talk about the build that much anyway, so it's a consideration to make. But regardless, yeah, I don't know. It's weird, because now I'm like tempted to listen back to all of my videos just so I know like where the problem is or when it happens, but I don't want to do that because I really hate listening to my voice. And also, I've developed an accent recently. Like, it's weird, it's very strange, because like I don't talk the way that people like from where I am from talk anymore. I'm from California, if you didn't know, and I guess this is probably just like per result of the fact that I haven't really been out much in the past 6 months, so that's like, you know, probably contributing to it. But I don't know why I say like specific words, I say them with a really weird accent now, like just accent. I say accent with a weird accent. I'm saying accent. People from California do not say accent, we say accent. Like, come on, get your head in the game. But I don't know what I'm doing, like I really don't, it's so weird. So I'm not really sure why that's happening. It's just a fun little anecdote. In the future, when I get my California accent back, I can tell it and be like, oh, remember that time when I talked like I was from the Midwest for like, is this even a Midwest accent? I don't know. It's really weird. So anyways, anyways, I just said anyways. It's so weird. I don't know what's going on. I'm so sorry. But did I just apologize for having a weird accent? I don't know. Anyways, other things I wanted to discuss. Nifty knitting, speculation stuff, because in my last video I mentioned that and then I didn't even like talk about it. Like I just mentioned it, but I was trying to avoid getting sidetracked from the actual topic of conversation that was at hand at the moment that I mentioned it. So I forgot to like actually discuss it, but oh boy, that live stream where they showed the whole reminiscence interaction, I don't know what they were trying to do there, but like, listen, you can say that like they're just making fun of us and like it's not actually a hint but come on. Come on. Like, they wouldn't just put random reminiscences that have literally nothing to do with what we actually have in the game in there if they weren't trying to hint something. Like, I don't understand what would be going through their head besides the fact that like I think either they're hinting at stuff we're actually gonna get or they're just making fun of us, and either way it's something to discuss, because first of all, the Simper was making fun of us, like trolling. That's not a new thing. Do you remember that time when they literally just spelled out Future Cube on Twitter over the course of like 2 hours, and we were all like, what's going on? Oh my god, this is the craziest day of my life. And then we discovered that it was just the Future Cube. Kind of wild. I don't know, man. But although I do have a theory about that, it's probably not like, probably doesn't have any truth to it at all. But because also some people have mentioned that since an update recently-ish, their Sims have all been playing with Future Cubes for no reason. So like, I don't know. The fact that the Future Cube is making like a pretty frequent appearance into the game and like Twitter and stuff, kind of wild. So I thought they were hinting at an Into the Future pack, which I like really have pretty much no interest in, to be perfectly honest with you. But like, I don't know. I still think if that ends up happening and then I like figured it out, I'm gonna be so proud of myself. But anyways, sorry. Back to the nifty knitting discussion. Those reminiscences, man. And they had a kid learning how to ride a bike, or I don't know if they were learning how to ride a bike, but they were definitely riding a bike. You know who can't ride bikes from Discovery University or Eco Lifestyle? Kids really can't ride those bikes. And the babies, of course. There was the babies, multiple pictures with like interactive babies where the couple was like holding their child, or I don't know, pushing them in a stroller or something. I don't actually remember them that specifically. Or the one where the baby was like interacting with the dog. I mean, come on, you know, like you don't have to like speculation generally, but this isn't even speculation, it's just observation, like plain old observation of things that they were putting into the game. And yeah, I don't know why they did that. And also, of course, the ski one with the winter resort. I don't know. I really hope, by the way, that if we get a winter resort pack, we get it with hotels instead of just like somewhere where you go and stay like the other vacation worlds. Because I think if we get hotels that we can build in any world, that would just be like a game changer. Like, I think that would be really great. So anyways, I guess I'm done with my discussion of nifty knitting speculation now. I don't know. Like, I don't get why they would put that stuff in there if it wasn't like actually, you know, a hint. Like, I don't know. I'm sure somebody's getting it on. I'm sorry. I know some of you don't like this stuff at all, but I find it really interesting. I like the hints and that kind of stuff. So also, I'm sorry that I just like brought it up in my last build and then didn't talk about it at all, but I don't think anybody really cares that much because that's kind of how we roll with these voiceovers. All over the place. That's my motto. That's my jam. Anyways, other fun things to discuss. Oh my god, have you guys been listening to Folklore? Sorry, that's so random too. These are so off topic, but Taylor Swift, if you've been living under a rock, Taylor Swift released a new album, like just randomly, just out of the blue. She tweets out and she's like, I've been like thinking of all these stories and man, I've done the best I can in telling them, and I hope you guys will enjoy this new album that I'm dropping tonight. And I was like, wow, sis. But, you know, it was cool. It's a really good album, in my humble personal opinion, so I think you guys should all listen to it, because it's very good. And I'm not even really, like, a big pop person in general, or a big Taylor Swift person. I think I liked Reputation when it first came out, and then I was kind of like, you know, I don't really like this at all, but, like, in general, pop music isn't really my thing. Like, I'm kind of more into, well, I don't know, I was gonna say indie, but I also like 60s rock music, so I don't know, it's all over the place is the point, but like pop is not really my genre in general. Taylor Swift isn't like my type of artist, but this album, it's really good. And honestly, I wouldn't even have known about it either, but one of my friends is like a really big Taylor Swift fan, and also apparently One Direction had their like 10-year anniversary on the same day that she dropped her album, and my friend is talking to me about all this stuff at the same time. She's like, oh my god, like I just want to know what the One Direction people are doing, like what's their anniversary thing gonna be, like, big deal, big stuff, big fun. And then the album at the same time, and it was wild. Anyways, we're pretty much at the end of the build, so thanks so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, you can leave a like and comments, let me know, subscribe and click the bell for notifications if you want to see more videos and get notified every single time that I upload a video. And if you like this build and want to play in it, it will be up in the gallery. My origin ID is in the description. That is all. Thank you so much for watching, and bye.